Hello friends, the idea of time travel can sound very impressive. But have you ever thought that if time travel were possible, it would have been a serious problem? If we could travel back to the past, it would be impossible to write history. Once a historian records the history of the past, one can go back to the past and rewrite it. Not only would the time machine drive historians out of business, but it would even allow us to change our lives. If, for example, we went back to the era of dinosaurs and accidentally stepped on a mammal that happened to be our ancestor, we might eliminate the possibility of our own existence, even the entire human race. It may sound absurd, but the invention of time machine may allow this absurdity. So, let us come straight to the topic of the day, that is time travel paradoxes. What are they and how they can change not even your entire history, but also the way of thinking too. Hey guys, I'm your host and friend Kusmakar Pant, welcoming you all to my channel, that is Everything We Believe in Universe. Please share and subscribe my channel if you want to see more such videos. Before moving to the time travel paradoxes, we have to know what is a paradox. Paradoxes are those questions that produce logical contradictions. These types of questions are based upon the truth, but their answers are not valid, which cannot be accepted. Now let us understand the concept of time travel paradoxes. Time travel, I must say, is possible. The paradoxes of time travel are oddities, not impossibilities. They prove only this much, which would have doubted that a possible world where time travel took place would be a most strange world, different in fundamental ways from the world we think is ours. Time travel poses many problems, both technical and social. There will be moral, legal and ethical issues. For example, if someone goes back to the past and hits their younger self, should they be accused of abuse? If a time traveler kills someone and escapes into the past, how was it to be punished? If a time traveler marries in the past, even he has a wife in the future, will he be accused of adultery? But perhaps the most delicate problems are the logical paradoxes raised by time travel. For example, if we kill our parents before we are born, this is a logical impossibility. It is also sometimes referred to as grandfather paradox. There are three types of ways to solve this problem. First, you simply repeat the history of the past and go back in time and thereby fulfill the past. You have no free will here. You are forced to just finish writing the past. Second, you can change things in the past, meaning you have free will but within limits. Your free will does not allow you to form a time paradox. Whenever you want to kill our parents or grandparents, some mysterious force stops you. Third, the universe is divided into two parts. This possibility is in line with the quantum theory and the idea of parallel worlds. The idea is that you try to go in the past, the timeline of our universe splits, creating a parallel universe. Before proceeding to the various categories of a time travel paradox, I want to remind you all. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on this video. First kind of paradox is predestination paradox. The predestination paradox occurs when the cause leads to an effect that then leads back to the initial cause. That is, the action of a person traveling back in time become part of the events of the past and can ultimately cause the event you are trying to prevent. This results in a circular loop of events that ensures that history is not changed by the time traveler, and any attempt to prevent something from happening in the past simply leads to cause itself, rather than stopping it. This paradox suggests that things are always ordered and cannot be changed. That is, what happened must happen. Sounds complicated? Imagine that your friend dies in a hit and run car accident and you travel back in time to save his life from his fate, only to find that your way to the accident, you are the one who accidentally runs him over. Your attempt to change the past has therefore resulted in predestination paradox. The second one is bootstrap paradox. Bootstrap paradox is a kind of paradox in which an object, person, or information returned at one time results in an infinite loop where the object has a distinguishable origin and exists without being created. It is also known as a ontological paradox, as ontology is the branch of philosophy dealing with the nature of being or existence. For example, suppose someone goes to a bookstore and receives a copy of Hamlet, then travels back to 1599 using a time machine and handles over the copy to Shakespeare. He is impressed and makes the price as if he had written it. People love the piece and then release it for generations. Want to change reality? First, think carefully about your grandparents' contribution to our lives. Next is grandfather paradox. Grandfather paradox deals with self-consistent solutions to the history of a timeline caused by the trip back in time. The paradox consisting of the grandfather paradox occurs when the past is changed in any way, creating a contradiction. That is, if a time traveler ever went back into time and killed his grandfather in his childhood, it would result in one of the traveler's parents and consequently the time traveler not being born. If the time traveler were not born, he would not be able to kill his father in the first place. Therefore, the grandfather lives for the parents of the time traveler and thus for the descendants of the time traveler. So there is no predicted result. Fourth type of time travel paradox is let's kill Hitler paradox. Like grandfather paradox, which paradoxically prevents your own birth, the killing Hitler paradox erases your own reason for having to go back in time to kill him. Furthermore, while killing grandpa may have a limited butterfly effect, killing Hitler would have a far-reaching consequences in everyone in the world, even if you taught him at the school. The butterfly effect is an idea that is most commonly used in chaos theory. A small change can bring about the bigger changes. A small incident can have a big impact on the future. So, the paradox itself stems from the idea that it was successful. There would be no reason for the time travel in the first place. If you killed Hitler, not a single act would overflow in history and make you try. Polchinski paradox is one of the time travel paradox. American theoretical physicist Joseph Polchinski has proposed a temporal paradox scenario in which sending a billiard ball through the wormhole into the past so that it collides with the former itself, diverting it so that it never goes into the wormhole in the first place. Let's come to the last category of time travel paradox, that is Fermi's paradox. The Fermi's paradox also can be adopted to time travel and be formulated as if time travel were possible, where the visitors are the future. The answers are varied, from the impossibility of time travel to possibility that future visitors will not be able to reach anywhere in the past or disguise themselves to avoid perception. Let's find out the best solution to time travel paradox. There are many possibilities to the time travel paradoxes, but here we will discuss only that which seems little bit more practical and possible. Here one solution is provided by quantum mechanics. According to quantum mechanics, quantum particles can exist more than in one place at a time, which is known as quantum superposition. Physicists of this field think that there are infinite number of universes like ours, and in all universes time flow at different speeds. So when we apply this theory in our universe, we can get the solution of the time travel paradoxes. So, when anyone travels in time with the help of a time machine, he will not travel in our universe, but he will travel in another universe. Is time travel possible? No one seems to have a definite answer for or against the existence of time travel. On the other hand, Einstein suggested that they travel at the speed of light to travel through the future, but that would mean an unimaginable amount of energy. In addition, the centrifugal force on the body would prove fatal. Although it has been observed that astronauts age slightly slower than their identical twin on Earth, some believe that there is no definite answer to returning to the space. Brian Greene, a theoretical physicist at Columbia University, says no one has given definite evidence that he can't travel into the past. But every time we look for suggestions and the details, it seems that clear that they are on the verge of knowing the laws of physics. In addition, Professor Hawking feels today's sci-fi is the next scientific fact. However, paradoxes, especially the grandfather paradox, have cast great doubt on the possibility of time travel. Basically, with the current laws of and knowledge of physics, one will not be able to survive the process of time travel. So, we need to do some improvements in quantum theories until we are sure how to solve the paradoxes. So, thank you very much for watching me. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Any feedback, good or bad, is almost just welcomed. Till next, this is your host and friend Kusmakar Pant signing off. Bye bye.